Oh,
What's up, dog?
Benny, there's a stray dog in your apartment.
Oh my God.
Benny is running around. Oh no, he just went out the door. I was driving home from work the other day, and it's like an hour and a half drive. And as soon as I started driving, a mosquito got in my car, and I got on the highway and I closed the windows, and it was in there with me, and it bit me like 12 times.
Oh my God.
And I was on the highway and I didn't want to open the windows.
You couldn't take your hands off the wheel to swear you
No,
kept missing it or what?
I'm a big distracted driver. The other day I got into a fender bender because I was trying to text the shy monkey emoji, and you know, and he's like
The shy is it the shy? It's like the hear no evil, speak no evil,
Yeah.
say no evil emoji.
but it comes up when you type shy.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a really shy monkey.
What are the other? Like, is this like I'm not listening monkey?
I'm not
Like,
listening monkey. I'm not listening monkey. I can't eat food monkey. I'm on a strict diet monkey.
Yeah, introvert monkey.
No, so I crash into this guy's car, and then he
The other day?
So this was like 2 days ago. No, this was last Friday.
What
so
the
like
fuck?
3 days ago.
Okay.
And he gets out of his car, and he like looks at me, and then like looks at the thing, and I was like getting out of my car, and I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And he just goes like thumbs up, gets back in his car, and drives away. Like before I even could see either of our cars. But it was lucky because they were not even damaged. Like it was like just scratches and shit. But I feel like there's like a point of return or like point of diminishing return like on paperwork for if the car damage is not that bad.
If it's like a scratch, it's like
And
this would be such more of a hassle to
yeah, he decided for both of us.
I think it's like literally you can hit a car 5 miles per hour, right? It's like then like your bumper just
they made the bumper for it,
made the
baby.
bumper for that.
They
Yeah.
made the bumper for that.
If you were to get you take your car and you push another car in front of it.
Yeah.
And you get it up to like 30 miles per hour. Like, do you think it could? Because like the
If
whole
you go
time
slow,
it's got contact. Yeah. If you slowly build up to that.
Maybe, dude. I feel like if you start going slowly and then you like slowly work your way up, you probably get up to 50, 60 before anything really happens.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Then you like just let it go.
But then also like bumpers and stuff, like cars. Have you seen like they started making cars like to crumble because that makes accidents less bad?
Yeah. Well, it's like it's like if you when they hit the front of the car, all the shit like specifically like moves and
It's pretty sick, dude. But how does it work in the back?
I don't know. Good question.
Because it's just trunk.
I guess like a big issue was like people were getting impaled by like the engine and shit. Like they're like because it was like not crumply, so it was just like you get hit by a car and just like
just the entire
everything
engine
just like
fucking hits you like an anvil,
annihilates it. Yeah.
Crushed like a bug. You're going 20 miles an hour.
You said like an anvil. I'm thinking like the old like Wile E. Coyote cartoons or like the Roadrunners driving his
dude. Okay, wait. So the only thing I prepared for the podcast.
Oh yes,
the only thing I prepared for the podcast.
You have a counting system?
I invented a new counting system. I did this a couple months ago. Everyone I've told so far has been like, "Yo, that's fucking stupid." Like, and then I tried to do it on stage for stand up once. It's too complicated. It doesn't work. Like, you can't hold an audience with it. But basically, like...
So you're going to do it now?
So I'm going to do it now on a podcast. I'll try to explain it audio only. If you're listening to the podcast, go find the video because it's going to be a really helpful visual aid. You're going to need it to understand this. It's not going to make that much sense verbally. But basically, like...
Can I guess?
Okay, yeah.
So you just you use that like DNA system and you GMO yourself to have 186 fingers.
You GMO a calculator into your wrist. You just have a calculator in your wrist.
Is it some like this is buggy type shit?
What is this is buggy?
Like you draw a little bug and then you draw a squash bug. It's like this is buggy. Buggy says hi. This is buggy when a car goes by.
Honestly, yes, but it's the most advanced version of that. Like, okay, so let me show you. Basically, you put your thumb down, so your 4 fingers up like this.
I'm gonna follow.
And you have 12 nubs, right? You see your nubs? You gotta count your nubs.
Okay, sure.
You have 12 nubs, okay?
Okay.
And so think of your left hand is like your ones place, right? And then your right hand is like your 13s place, right? So you know how you have like a 1 and a 10s place? This is a new number system that I have invented, and it has 13s places instead of 10.
You're doing base 10 or base
13. It's base
12.
13.
Is it base 12?
I think it's base 13.
Or is it 13? Is the next like? Is
I'm
it like
pretty sure it's 13.
where it's like okay?
Because
I'll just shut up. I'll let you because you have 10 figures and then the next like that's the one and then like
yeah, but
it's
12 is the 9 of this world.
oh I see. Okay,
So
I'll follow.
So 12 is the 9 of this
I
world.
don't know why I'm interjecting.
No, I think it's base 13. I think because you can count up to 168, so it is base 13.
Okay.
Because it's like n squared minus 1 or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that? But anyways, that's not like a bell.
Yes. You're saying it's 13 times 13
minus 1.
minus 1. Okay.
And then that n is like the base.
Mm.
So
Which is
anyways,
13.
so you start at the bottom, right? Bottom left. I don't know why it's maybe we should do it at the top like a book. So it's like your hand is a book. And you start from the top like you're reading a book. And then you start from the bottom right like you're reading a manga. You start with the top left nub, so that would be your pointer finger, the bottommost nub. And you're holding your hand sideways. So for people who can't see, you're holding your hand sideways like your fingertips are touching. And then you start here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right?
Right.
So this is anything. So like say number 1 through 12.
To what?
Just any number 1 through 12.
6. Oh.
Right? It's like speed, instant speed.
Oh, because you divided by 3. That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like you can think of it as like a threes table, right? and honestly, the more you do it, I'm kind of out of form right now.
And then it's like, okay, 13, 26, 39.
Exactly. So your other hand in the 13s place, each of your nubs is going to be 13. So you start at 13, and then the next nub that would be 2 on your ones place hand is actually 13 times 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 26. Then you got 39, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you go down.
And so you're not using the thumb because you're using the thumb as the
thumb is like a mouse, it's like a placekeeper. Yeah,
the mouse.
The mouse. It's a mouse.
Clickable.
Yeah. So the thumb is kind of like your
yod. You know about the yid or yod or whatever it is?
What's a yid yod?
In Judaism, it's like this it's like a pencil where at the very end it's a very tiny like hand, like an entire like silver hand with a finger, and it's like when like you read a book, you like point. You're not like, I guess they're like they don't want to like actually touch those words,
the books up.
So they have like a dedicated silver hand to like touch the thing.
That's pretty good because all my books are covered in grease from my hands. I'd be rubbing them.
You like read a passage, you're like, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I got oily hands. I was just working on my car, and then I go to my second favorite hobby, reading my book.
Reading the Torah.
Reading the Torah.
After a long day as a mechanic.
Could you work on a car on the Sabbath? If you don't use power tools?
As a hobby, I suppose.
As a hobby, not as work, actually. That makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what has this counting system enabled you to do that you weren't able to do with either the fact that your fingers or the idea of counting in your head?
So I made it up kind of to stimulate myself because sometimes I get bored. And
is this at work? Because we can transition straight
I
into
do
that.
it at work, yeah. I have a lot of thoughts at work that
quit-
are really unrelated to work. I'm quitting my job.
That's
soon. But basically, this was thought up.
And you're a mechanic?
I'm a salesman.
Jewish mechanic?
I'm a Jewish mechanic. I only make Jewish-made cars. It's a big industry, dude. It's a Honda Odyssey. Do you ever see that, like in like Williamsburg, like in the Jewish part? It's just like 100 Honda Odysseys.
No,
You ever notice
that's
that?
so funny.
It's like the go-to whip there.
I feel like the go-to whip there is a wow, I'm about to forget the name. Stroller. That's what it is.
That's what the moms drive. That's a mom car. That's such
the
a
women
mom
aren't the women aren't allowed to drive, right? So
Is that true?
I might be making that up. I don't know.
That is some city state shit. That's like sub. Like there's New York laws and then there's like a sub law. It's like
they have their own little bubble world.
This is community rules. I don't know. There's so much like media about like it's sick to think about like if you're in that and then you leave that and then like what is your like perspective? And I feel like there's so many shows and stuff about it, but I never watch any of them. But I think about it a lot.
Yeah, I never. Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I was in a bubble world or like being Amish or something, and then I left the bubble world because you probably have an amazing take on everything you see.
That fresh perspective.
Like on like it's like, oh well, this is fucking stupid. Like this is fucking stupid.
I was thinking about like I think like I don't know, the Amish are, you know, backwards in a lot of ways. And it's like kind of like a running joke where comedians are like, they'll make fun of the Amish and they'll be like, they're never going to hear this. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, I want to make fun of the Amish and then like very specifically like take out like a newspaper ad in an Amish area that's like Benny says the Amish can suck my dick and balls. You know, I'm like, I'm not afraid. Like I want them to know.
You could get like flyers and put them at the Amish market.
Yeah. extra.
Hire a paper boy to just slur out the Amish.
Is there a slur for the Amish?
I'm thinking about it now.
Buggy heads.
Do they do bad stuff or are they just like nice?
They do. They're like
fuck.
There's a lot of like sex crimes. And,
shit.
Because they
don't
have
have
a
DNA tracking.
Right. They don't have a good reporting system as a whole. Like they're not policed properly.
They don't even use like American police.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like they have like a whole. I don't know. It's a ton of shit wrong.
The shittiest guy in the world is the Amish sheriff.
Amish detective. Like his fingers in a butter churner. He's like,
this smells like my sister.
It's like who? What's the case? Like somebody
What's
burned
the
down
case?
a bar. Somebody stole a mule or something.
A sex crime, maybe.
Oh, for sure.
Like you said it.
Well, that's unreported.
Unreported.
You know what I mean?
Jesus
so,
Christ, dude.
Those aren't reported. So what would be reported to
What would
a
be
sheriff?
reported? It would have to be noticeable stuff like someone stole my barn.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos of like it's like 100 Amish guys underneath like a structure, and they'll like pick up a barn. I'm not even joking. They like pick it up like it's like 100 ants lifting a big leaf like or a pretzel. And they pick it up and then they all like walk over and then they just put it down like 100 feet down the line and they literally like build shit in a place and then move it into where it's supposed to live and then hammer it in.
I've seen them all do like all of them together build a barn, but them all picking it up and moving it is so fun.
Oh my god, it's incredible.
They do like the Empire State Building. You need like $1,000 like 10,000 Amish men all like linking arms and like picking up the Empire State.
What do you think, like, if everyone in Brooklyn linked arms? Like, could we push Brooklyn closer to Manhattan?
We don't need the bridge anymore. Just close the river.
What was that? Oh, my God. What was that movie that they were like, close the bridges? And he's like, which bridge?
Cloverfield?
And he's like, all of them. No, I don't know. It was like some terrorist threat in New York movie. This is another thing, like, I literally never...
Hike. Sorry, that's a big tick.
Whoa, nice. I never watch movies. Like, I just know them so vaguely. And, like, when I do watch a movie, I don't remember any details about the movie. I remember how it, like, vaguely made me feel. So, like, all the old movies I watch, like, I don't get any references to them except, like, when they come up, I'm just like, oh, that was good. Like, that's all I have. And I feel like everyone, dude, like, at least in comedy, like, everyone's always, like, talking about movies and shit. And I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, dude, I agree. I didn't watch a lot of movies growing up. My mom didn't like movies.
Yeah.
So my dad did, but he didn't like, he, like, showed me very specific ones.
Yeah. Why did your mom not like movies? Like,
she thinks they're too long.
That's what I think. That's why it's like, I didn't watch TV or something. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I used to disagree more strongly, but I've like come around to that opinion a bit more. Also, because like I don't know, unless the movie's like really good, then it's like, oh, it's 2 hours of me just kind of hanging out at a screen,
and then it's happening.
Yeah. But I do love the movie theaters though. Get a nice bunch of crunch.
Yeah. You know James, right?
With
James
Nazareti? Yeah, absolutely.
Nazareti. He has this thing called garbage popcorn. Where he goes, we went to NYU, so he used to do this like at school. He would go to the movies, and instead of buying popcorn, he'd fish out the garbage tin.
That's not a thing called garbage popcorn. That's not like a thing. That's like
No,
that is garbage popcorn.
It's a strategy. It's his money saving strategy. And
how much money do you save?
I don't know. He went to the movies a lot.
Okay, that's fair. Like Movie Pass era, I could see that.
It was
movie.
It was literally Movie Pass era.
That's like hundreds of dollars in that scenario.
$100.
Also, shout out to James Nazareti, very funny guy. We'll have him on the pod.
I just let him borrow my car. He was filming a short,
Shit,
and he cleaned it so well.
Really?
Like my car was so dirt, like on the inside, and he like detailed it. And I haven't like called him about it yet because I was at work today. But like, kid's a legend. Shout out James.
That's
Andretti.
really nice of
Yeah,
him.
that was really. It was really nice.
Are you sure he didn't just eat everything? That was
Yeah, he ate all the crumbs.
and
And then there was a lot of dust on my dashboard. He licked it all up. No, but he just filmed this like short that he wrote, and
Also, I'm scratching my balls. I feel like it's barely in frame. Just if it's below frame, I want you to know that's what I'm doing.
I'm gonna just
wanted to make it clear.
Verify that. Yeah. That's true.
I don't know. I don't want people to think I'm getting away with it. I want them to know I'm aware that it might be in frame.
Caught in my own home.
Listen.
Well, we're in Benny's room, so if you give him a hard time about this, you're wrong. You're a dick.
Yeah, I'm in my personal space.
Yeah. So why don't you get out of the bubble if you're so pressed?
Dude, I just went through my old phone photos and just kind of like
your last phone or like the old photos on your current phone.
Old previous phone.
Okay.
And just like because you get rid of a phone, you're like, well, let me keep all the photos,
the media.
Exactly. And I like sort them. I'm like, all right, this is friends, this is family, this is nature, and like memes? A big category. A lot
of memes.
No, not that many. Well, because it's like camera roll.
Okay.
And it's like personal spaces is like an interesting one where it's like every time I've moved or completely shifted my room, I like have taken like photos of it, and so it's like sense. It's like cool to be like, oh, I used to have that poster.
You ever live in like a fucked up place?
Yes.
And like have pictures of that, and you're just like, oh man, that sucked.
What's the most fucked up place you've lived?
I lived. The apartment was. Honestly, I say it was nice, but it was really not nice. I lived in a dude home, when I was in college. It was me and three other dudes, big time dudes.
Dude, for sure.
And it was like 24/7, bong was burning. It was we had, our living room was so big, and the way we divided it was we split it in half down the middle and made it into two smaller TV living rooms, so that we could have two people watching TV or playing video games at once. And it was so degenerate, and there was just ash and weed smoke, and it was so weird. But for those 2 years, it was heaven.
That's what's up, dude.
But then it was honestly fucked. So it was when we were in college, and this girl came over to look at the place, and she was my friend, and she was like, I want to rent it after you guys move out. And she was a year below me, and I was like, yeah. And she's sitting in our house, and she's like, oh yeah, this place could be so amazing. And I was like, wait, what?
What are you talking about? It already is.
She's
like, peak of life.
She's like, you guys didn't even do anything good or creative at all with it, but it could be awesome.
But you did, though. You split a room down.
We split a room down the middle. Honestly, it was really good because what we would do, we used to watch Game of Thrones, and we would put the TV, we would shift it. So it was two sideways like this, and then we would put one TV here and then turn all the couches. And it would be home theater mode.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was kind of genius, actually.
Yo, my friends, you know that in the Lego movie, well, you don't movie references, but maybe you'll remember this part, the double-decker couch thing.
Okay, I know I could picture the double-decker couch.
Sure, my friends literally made one. They
isn't that dangerous, though?
It was so dangerous. They got dude, oh shit. Oh, no. It's just pebbles and shit. Fucking, dude, they literally made a wooden structure and put it's a sofa on the bottom. It seems like they did a pretty good job.
Are they to be trusted with handiwork? Or are they just some dudes?
No, I think they were to be trusted with handiwork, but at the same time they're also college sophomores and juniors, so it's kind of in between the two, where it's they did a good job, but it's still
they're in
worrisome.
training to be trusted.
Yes, yeah, the mechanical engineers and stuff.
Yeah, same with mine. We were all engineering kids, and they were just oh man, the amount of stuff. My one roommate, he was he had a huge thing where he would smoke a lot of weed, and then do Adderall and be I feel nothing, and he's they just cancel each other out.
That can't be true.
And mathematically, no, but he'd convinced himself, and then I was all right, well then why don't you just do one or the other? And then he was no. And then for a year, he just did more and more of both until he was just I don't know what is going on all the time.
If they cancel each other out, it's then doing more of both. He's just oh, let me get even closer to neutral state.
It was
what's his idea there?
I don't know. Well, because he was he would do it and then smoke weed and then he'd be like, "Oh, I can't focus at school, so I need more Adderall." But then he would like do more Adderall, and then like, he was just like, "Oh, like I'm just smoking more weed," and then like it just like built up for so long, and then he was like, he loved like dab pens. But he always like was trying to like beat the system, even though it's like, really, why? Like, just smoke weed like a dude. Like, it's okay, you can just do it.
That's the type of guy who's like, yo, I invented a new way to count with my fingers. I know how to, you know how you have 12 nubs?
He would have loved that. Honestly, he would have loved that. I was like, he's dead, but he's not dead. He actually lives really close to here.
You still live with comics, right?
Right now, I live with one comic, Austin.
Sure. Austin
Locke. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out Austin Locke.
Shout out Austin Locke. And
Very
then my
funny guy.
friend Casey, who we all three of us met each other from doing college improv. And then Casey stopped doing comedy after we graduated, and now she has a clothing brand.
Okay.
Which is cool. Yeah, she just like rebranded it.
Is it good clothing?
Yeah, it's mostly like women's wear. So I guess like I can't really wear it, but it's cool. She does like a lot of like corsets and stuff. She made like a custom baby's bonnet for this sketch we wrote, so that was cool.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Like she's like pretty sick. Like she can just like, if you just ask for something, she's like, yeah, I could probably do that, and then she'll just like do it. Like
That's
like
the ideal sketch roommate.
right? Yeah,
Like,
he's like, I need a gown. He's like, yeah, I got
It's
you.
like if Lorne Michaels' like college roommate was like, oh yeah, no, I'm really into political props. That's like my side hustle. I love making custom podiums that say alien president or something.
She's like a machine that you Venmo, and then she pumps out clothes and props.
Are you sure it's not just like a person in like the closet
That's
that she's paying?
Yeah.
You Venmo the machine?
No, you Venmo her, and then she gives you clothes.
Oh, you're saying she's the machine.
Yeah. I like to black box every transaction. Like everything is a black box. I was gonna, like if you like hibachi is cool, but like what if they did it like behind like a curtain, like right in front of you? Like I don't know why, but like you can just hear it and then you can't see it, and then
like a hand comes out, shrimp.
Yeah, but the raw ingredients are outside, so the chef is like outside. He takes the raw ingredients, goes behind a curtain, and you just hear like commotion, and then he comes out, but he's still doing the tricks, so you can hear the tricks. It's like all auditory, and then he comes out and he has like a fully prepared meal, and I like that idea. Because hibachi is cool, but it strips bare everything.
Black box hibachi.
Yeah.
The only thing it doesn't strip bare is how they learn the tricks. I want to go to a purely white box hibachi restaurant where you get to see them like in training, like the first day hibachi guy who's like,
yeah, you get like a half off meal
and shit
for like a loser chef.
he does the little boy thing and like I don't know, like he pisses on himself.
I'm sorry, I'm learning. Yeah.
The volcano like kills a local town.
Yeah, he burns down the hibachi restaurant. You think what's the worst injury sustained by a hibachi chef? Probably
shrimp to the eye or something.
Shrimp.
Oh, by the chef or by the people?
No, that a chef has caused. like someone went to hibachi and then like came like they like had to leave and go to the ER.
Oh, it's got to be throwing like knives and sharp shit around.
You think they throw knives like that?
They got well, maybe not a knife, but it's got like a prong thing, and it's like
yeah. Where's hibachi the craziest? Like regionally.
I just had the idea, like wherever it's from, whatever nation it's from,
Yeah.
like authentic original hibachi.
Is
like a guy.
Does that exist?
I don't know.
Or is it
It could just be an export.
It could be an us thing.
You know, like the Turkish ice cream guy.
Yeah.
The
But
black box that, or like a vending machine that it's like a metal grip on like an ice cream. And
I love the videos of people beating that. Like
the Turkish guy.
Yeah, you ever see the video of so it's always like those
grabbing.
TikToks where like I've been watching a lot of like media where it's like I think it's like Indian content, because like a lot of people like send this type of shit on WhatsApp where it's just like high pitched laughter and like it doesn't make any sense, like, and like, you know, like the red outline circle and like the red pointing arrow, like it'll be like it's like the Turkish ice cream man. And then like he takes away
just like a 3-pixel border red circle, like it just like,
yeah. And then like he takes it away and it's like like it's just like this like awful laugh, and like it's like the same like 3 sound effect laughs, and then like they just keep doing it, and then it's like he'll like finally snatch it and like the kid will take it or whatever, and then it like pauses the video and it's like poof, and then it's like this like red circle around that. It's nothing. I don't know.
No. I'm fascinated. I want to know more about WhatsApp.
WhatsApp is a fucking treasure trove of like good media. Like, because I have so much family in India and I don't even talk to them that much. Like, we're just in WhatsApp groups together. And
I thought you were Sicilian.
I'm not. I'm actually olive. I'm an olive.
I thought you were just dark South Italian.
It's not a stretch to say that I'm white. Dude, no, but like
Wait, sorry, yeah, India WhatsApp.
they love to say good morning with an image. Like,
It's like that's what I heard. I watched like just the John Oliver thing on it, and he was saying like, because I guess there's a lot of disinformation from
Yeah,
like family to family, but it's like every morning it's like what's up, like good morning. Is that you're getting a lot of those?
like I mean, like I'm only in a few groups, like just with my family, but the like inner like network of like old person to old person is like fucking absurd. Like when my grandparents were here, like they live in India, but they visited for like 6 months. And when they're here, it's like every morning, like WhatsApp, like 3 hours. Like send your good mornings, like hit it up, like see what people are doing. Like,
Wow.
it's like they're plugged in. They're so plugged in. And the images are so fucking ridiculous too. So you see that butterfly poster you have?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that deep fried good morning in cursive. Like, they're so funny.
Are they making it? Is it have like a generative system where it's like
I don't
you can
even-
create this thing, or is it like on Twitter when you select a GIF from like 1,000 pre-selected?
I think
GIFs?
it's like that, but I also don't like. It's like there's like a pre-image thing, but I think a lot of it is forwarding. Like, I don't know where stuff starts, but my grandparents, at least, like this is like the brief part of the system that I see, is they're huge forwarders. Like,
I gotta say, the pure hustle culture mindset in my brain is kicking in, where I'm like, are there videos? Should I get on WhatsApp and start forwarding my stuff? Like
honestly,
Tourette's comedian.
straight up, like if you get big on like, because it's not a small platform. Like if you blow up in the WhatsApp like chain mail, you would literally gain fans. Like it's like a non-negligible amount of people, and I feel like it's the people in like the WhatsApp chainmail circles are it's like a Venn diagram, different circle than the people that we actually talk to and like bring to shows.
Yeah, usually, I mean, the people in India that I usually bring to shows are usually more from Twitter.
Yeah, dude. But
I have no connection to the Indian subcontinent except like vicariously through friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say it's worth going. It's worth going. It's cool. I mean, I'm North Indian, so I always go to.
Boo. Oh, the Sicilians.
I couldn't even begin to break it down for you.
I
But
just know that there's the two, like South Indian and North Indian are like the two language groups. That's like all I know.
yeah.
Other than that, just I know all the racist stereotypes, and I'm like, that's all I know. Just kidding.
That's all you need to know for crowd work, to be honest. It's just like, I feel like, Usama like definitely has one thing for like. This is my guess. But he has like one thing for every type of like Indian person.
Really?
Like
That's funny.
It has to be because like it's such a genius like tree because like it's so easy to have one thing for each like Indian person. And honestly, it already kind of exists like because like it's just like racist there. Like there's these people that are like Gujaratis and like they're like cheap business people or whatever.
That's how I think of them usually.
And so like I was at a show and my cousin was there, and Usama was like, oh, like where are you guys from? And we're like, oh, we're Punjabi. And he goes, oh yeah, like you guys are like so drunk. Like the thing for us is that we're like drink a lot. And then my cousin's like dying, and he's like, dude, like he just had that, like he's had that joke ready, like he knew. And I was like, no, like if you just write
Is that
a joke,
just like a stereotype?
What?
Is that just like a stereotype?
well, he like did a joke on it,
Oh, gotcha,
and it
okay.
was just like if you have a joke ready for every type of like Indian person, and you just have an Indian person in the crowd, like you can just make them think you're a genius, and you just came up with that. Like
That's good to know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna afterwards give me a list of every Indian.
and I'm gonna
person.
write down stereotypes too.
Actually, I have a system. You know how in the Indian subcontinent, the skin color varies from
Yeah,
region to region.
Sure.
I have every nub and I paint it that color, and then I write what the stereotype is. Oh, Punjabi, drunk. This other group of people, shady businessmen.
Hey, you know what's fucked up?
I'm not going to do anything other than what you've said so far.
Shady businessmen is like that's like 6 or 7 of the groups. There's just like a lot of bad business dudes out there. I've been super into. This is a huge contributor to why I didn't watch movies a lot. Is because like I feel like there's something about like the opportunity cost of sitting down for 2 hours on like one thing when I could be like on YouTube just like finding like the most optimal like way to spend 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I'm so addicted to YouTube.
Dude, same. I love YouTube.
It's crazy.
What are you watching?
Recently, I've been destroying like scammers videos. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
like calling people out on stolen valor, or like when there's like that's not like a scam, but like when there's an active scam and like using their system to like trick them or whatever.
Well, yeah. So it'll be like these call centers in India. And like there's like a bunch of like scam YouTubers that like they like basically like track their IPs and shit, and they like find out as much like data as they can, and then they'll like just start like fucking with the scammers. And this one guy had like his like whole thing was like, I'm gonna put on a timer and see how long I could like keep them going just to like waste their time. And he was just like improving and like just like fucking with them and like trying to make it look like so he made it look like he had like $15,000 they could get from him, so like they would stay. And then he's like talking and he's just like doing the dumbest shit. And like the scammer stayed on the phone with him for 10 hours.
Whoa.
Literally for 10 hours.
Wow.
He has
Holy
this guy
shit.
on the phone for 10 hours. And then it's like at the end, the guy like realizes that it's like fake or whatever. And he's like crying.
Oh,
and, like,
because he like the whole time he like thinks he's gonna get a ton of money or something.
he thinks he's going to get like $15,000. Wow. And like it was so funny. The guy was like, I'm like, oh, like I'm like a therapist. Like I need to go to the bank. So can you take my session for me? Like, and then
so he has him do therapy.
So he has the scammer, and the scammer is like in like broken English, like doing a session with another character that the guy's playing, and then he does like an hour session, and then he like comes back. He's like, oh, thank you, like you really covered me. Like it's so good. Like
that's hilarious.
This content is powerful.
That's fucking funny.
It's better than any movie I've ever seen.
Dude, my friend's Instagram got hacked, and she like sent me. Well, more like former coworker. Not.
Oh, that's actually sick.
Somebody I don't care about.
Fuck them.
And so I like. It was like obvious as a hack, and I was like, and I was like, I wanted my friend to know, or I wanted this person to know. So I was like, I'm just gonna call them so that like their Instagram will ring and they'll like pick up and I'll be like, yo, your Instagram's hacked or whatever. So I call Instagram. This guy in India picks up. He's like, "Hello." I'm like, "Hey man, listen."
Please.
I was like, "Is this Erica?"
And then
it's not Erica.
Then what did he talk to you or?
I was like,
he
was like, no, I don't want to do the accent. I did the accent briefly for the
I love
hello,
it.
but
I really do like it. I think, okay, kind of a hot take. I think people are too scared for that one. I think people are too
for the
scared
accents?
for that one. Yeah.
But I think I'm not allowed to have the hot take.
Yeah.
I think that that's fair, but I'm gonna let that culture figure that out.
This is one of the things that I'm allowed to think, and I think it.
Yeah. Listen, do I have thoughts on it? Maybe.
Write it on a piece of paper and slide it over to me.
But I mean, sometimes I'll have a thought. I'll be like, oh, that's kind of dumb in the culture. Like it'll be like the pendulum's one way, and I just have to wait for people in like certain groups or something to be like, hey, this is dumb that we're doing this, and then it course corrects, and I'm like, okay, you know what I mean. Now the opinion is reasonable. I don't know.
Now the opinion,
but I mean, accents are also one where it's like I'm not 100% sure what, like that one's one I'm not gonna say that, oh, I'm definitely correct in some other direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't fucking.
I guess it depends because some people still don't like that. So I guess it's up to them. I don't know.
What I'm saying is I'm 4D chessing the culture.
I'm playing the waiting game.
I'm just waiting until everybody realizes that homophobia is actually correct.
I don't know. These like scam videos have made me like so like I want to play that game. So it's like they look like they're having so much fun. So like scammers like call me. I get a lot of scam calls because I was applying for. I think it's because I was applying for jobs for like a long time, and I had like my phone number on my resume, and I sent my resume to like 500 companies.
Oh damn!
And I was just like, my shit was like plastered, and
So you're answering these scam calls?
so I pick them up. Yeah, I pick every single one up.
They track that data, by the way.
The pickup data, right?
Yeah. So they know that's part of why they're calling you more.
Yeah, and sometimes I lie, and I'll just be. Then they'll be like, "Oh, like how old are you?" And I'm like, 65. And then they're like, "Do you have like Medicaid?" And I'm like, "Yes." Like, and then they keep calling me, and they're like, "Is this Steve?" And I'm like, "Yes." Like, but I like want them to, like, just because they're always lying. Like, it's an Indian guy, and he's like, "My name is John." And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, it's literally not. So one time, like most of the time, they end up just like hanging up on or like cursing me out and just like hang up, like whatever, when they realize like I'm just fucking with them. But one time, this guy like called me and I was just like, oh, like, are you selling? Like, he was selling some product, and I think like the idea was like he was trying to get my card, like just like buy over the phone, just get your card number. And I kept reading him my card number, but like one off, and I was like trying to be like, oh no, like I really want to buy like Viagra. Like, do you guys sell Viagra? Like, my wife, like, just like she stopped loving me as soon as I stopped getting hard. Like, and like we talked for so long, like 40 minutes, and I'm like, dude, like, you know, like things are hard. Like, I'm like crying and shit. I'm like, things are hard. You know, like I work so much. Like, I'm tired. Like, I can't get hard anymore. Like, and I forget what they were selling, like some like vitamin bullshit, like, or like selling. Like, God knows they're actually selling it. But I'm like trying to I like really open up to him. Like, in this, like, this character is like so open to him, and I'm like really like, begging him for his help. And then he had like this like super white name, like Warren or something. And then I was like, bro, like, I know your name is not Warren. And I spoke Hindi with him. And I was like, listen, like, just be honest with me. Like, I'm in a terrible spot. Like, I'm so alone right now. Like, I need a friend. And then he told me his real name. And he like broke. He like stopped trying to scam me. And he was like, it's okay, brother. Like, it's okay. Things get better. I was like, dude, that's awesome.
He's a good guy at heart.
That's a good guy. That's just a good guy who found himself in a scam call center.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like, I don't know. And then after that one, I have not had one that's been that fun in so long. Oh my God. That was like a couple years ago.
That's great.
But like, now that I think they're getting smarter, maybe.
Oh, sure.
Because
like the popularity of the scamming and the scammers is probably like more people are probably doing what you're doing.
Exactly, like just for fun. Like, 'cause I feel you could get away with more stuff a couple years ago, but now it's just scam tubers, dude. The scam YouTubers.
Dude, my friend Kevin, shout out Kevin McBride, old friend from Philly.
Let's go, Kev.
Yeah, yeah. There's like a it was like February like 15th or something, and we were watching TV, and there was like just like one of those like infomercials for jewelry or something, and he like called and he's like, yeah, I'm like, really, do you think this would be like here in time for Valentine's Day? Or it was like February, no, it's like February like 13th. He's like, will I get this in time for Valentine's Day? And they were like, no. And he like started like being like, oh my God, like,
no, I was cheating. I really
like, yeah, basically like breaking down on the phone. Where he's like, oh my God, it's not gonna, like, I really need this.
I like that type of shit. Like, even being on the other side of that is really fun. Like, I do sales for my job, and we do like tech support, and I get like some ridiculous ass emails sometimes. Like, I got this email from a customer, and it was like, urgent, please help, like, computer 2 zoomed in. and I was like, okay. And then I click it, and it's this email in huge red text that's like literally like one letter per line. Like, it's taking my whole screen, and it's like, please help, my font is too large. And I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? And so then I had to drive to this person's house. Like, they live outside New York City. I like get in my car and I drive to this house, and they paid our company like $300 for tech support. And I drive to the house and I just like select all their texts and I just do like command minus. And I was like, I'm sorry, it was too zoomed. Like, and that was like a real like problem, dude. Some of the work stories I had are actually like they're like stupid and like little like that. But one time, we got a lead. My boss, who's also my uncle, is like he had like a phase where he was obsessed with like trying to be like an influencer in like AV and smart home like space online, which is stupid because it's like a small market. Like no one's those videos are boring. Like
they're making like WhatsApp like custom Bitmojis or something.
Literally not even. You're just like, yo, check out this awesome 5.1 surround sound. But like that's cool the first time you ever see it, and then never again. It's like 5 speakers and a subwoofer. And so there's one guy who's like killing it in the AV game, like on YouTube, and it's this dude Dream Media. And like he's literally like he's like, yo, what's up, YouTube? Like he's like that kind of guy. And he definitely like bots views or some shit, dude. Like, because it's like, why are that many people watching this boring ass video about like a guy like talking about a projector? Like, I don't know. And so this guy, like, we like reached out to him to see like if he wanted to like do business or some shit. And he was like, yeah, I have like an installer program, and they're like based in the South. And he's like, what you can do is like sign up to be one of our installers, and people that watch our videos and like want a home theater, like we'll send them to you, right? And there was like a deal where like they sell the materials for the project, so like they make some money off it, and then we just get to like work with the customer, right?
Okay.
And we signed up for the program, and it was like all this paperwork I did, and like I'm talking to the like representative, and they're like, oh yeah, like our installers are like so busy they get booked out for months. And we're like, oh, like that's insane, we want that business. We signed up and we got no business. Like, and I was like, oh, like maybe it's just like New York City, like nobody's watching their videos or something. And then we get one like contact from them, and it was like in East New York, like so deep. And then I looked it up, and it was literally like in like a project house. And I was like, okay, like fine, whatever. So then we go there, and then the guy opens the door, and he has one like prosthetic leg. And he's like, oh, you want to know how I lost my leg? And I was like, how? And he's like, I used to like be a maintenance man, and then I stepped into a rat hole, and I cut my leg, and the rat water gave me gangrene, and it cut my leg off. And so he has like this prosthetic leg, and then he had a settlement with the city, and the city gave him like a lot of money, like a couple $100,000, and he spent like half of it on literally commercial AV equipment, like shit you would see like if you went to MSG.
Like, just for the viewers at home, AV stands for, and also
audiovisual. It's audiovisual equipment.
You're talking about like home theater style stuff. Is that the idea?
Yeah. So my company does like home theaters. We do like TV setups and like just like speakers and houses. Like people on Sonos and stuff. Like we do that type of shit a lot. But this guy had like stuff that was like beyond the scope of a home. Like it was like some shit you would see at a concert. And like it was all like it was like a small apartment because it was like in a project house. It was like
the whole room.
The entire it was like a kitchen, then the entire AV room, and like a bedroom like in the back.
That rules.
And we're there, and it was like insane because it was like fucking like there was like weed everywhere and like liquor out, and like there was like fucking like cockroaches and shit everywhere. It was like insane. It was so disgusting. And he got all this commercial stuff, and he set it up wrong. He set it up all wrong. And so we go there, and he's like trying to get us to set it up, and like we're just working on it for like so long, and he was insane. Like he just kept telling us stories. He's like, yeah, like I got a girlfriend in like every borough or like every like neighborhood in New York, like this and that. And we're like, all right, dude, you're insane. And then he took printouts of his bank statements, and he called me over, and he's like massaging my shoulders, and he's like showing me these printouts of his bank statement. And he goes like, I'm a rich daddy now. And I was like, dude, like, what the fuck is like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm so rich. And like his bank had like $100,000 in it. And I was like, well, maybe you should still be careful. I don't know.
Right, like that's gonna burn fast.
That's not gonna last forever.
Walking around.
And yeah. And so he's like showing off his money, and he he's just telling all these stories about how he used to be a DJ, and then he goes into the other room, and like this woman is yelling at him, like presumably his wife is yelling at him, and
one of his many neighborhood wives.
well, so she's like, oh, like yelling at him. She asked him for $1,000, and then he's like, literally yells at her. He's like, "Shut up, bitch!" Like he's like, "Don't ask me for $1,000 again." And then she like they have like this whole fight, and we're just like plugging in wires and shit. And then she gets up and leaves. And he comes out and he's like, "Yeah, that's my wife." Like he's like, "Never get married, this and that." Like the same shit that they like that kind of guy.
The old ball and chain.
Yeah, the old ball and chain. And then he goes back into the room after she leaves, and then he starts fighting again with like a woman. And then we're like, "What the fuck?" Like the wife just walked out the front door, and then another woman comes out, and he goes, "That's my girlfriend."
Oh shit.
And and then it was like 10 a.m. Like we got there like at 9 in the morning to work, and he's like drinking 40s and he's like rolling blunts and like smoking in the house, like, and he's like watching us work, and I was like, it was so weird, dude.
Did you guys finish the job? Or
No, so he was missing a bunch of components, of course, like, so he was missing a bunch of shit. So we're like, all right, we gotta go, like we can't finish, like we'll have to like buy the stuff and come back. And he was supposed to pay us, like, because the agreement with like that company was that the customer pays day of because you work a full day. And then he just like pulls out like, so he owed us I think like $800. He pulled out like $300 and gave it to us and was like, "Get out of my house." And we're like, "What?" And he goes, "You didn't fix anything, like get out of my house." And then I was with my coworker, and we're just like, at that point we're just like, we should probably go.
You should, yeah.
Like let's just, this is like,
Cut
I don't
your
even
losses,
feel like we're definitely not coming back here. So then we just took the money and then we left, and I don't know. But that guy was definitely the most fun person I've ever worked with.
That's
like,
wild.
Sure.
That's amazing. I'm gonna check how we're doing on. Hell yeah, we got.
What time is it?
We got 15 more minutes of this one.
Woo!
I wanted to make sure I didn't want to check the time in the middle of your story.
Oh,
To make sure I was gonna let you.
what if
that
I
play
ran
out.
over? What if I ran what if I told that story for 2 hours?
I would have. If you had done I would have cut it off and said nope. I would have said nope. The people don't get to know. Only I get to know.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you when we hang out.
I'll tell you a brief story. Actually, that same person who got Instagram hacked, my old coworker, they actually got hacked at the job.
Where'd you guys work?
Speaking of that,
Where'd you guys work?
listen into that microphone as I tell my story. Same job I work currently, but she just doesn't work there anymore.
Okay. Which is like making websites, right?
Making websites,
Yeah.
But she didn't. She was like kind of like doing emails and like social media stuff, like project management. She got an email, presumably from our boss, that was like, "Hey, I'm in a meeting right now. Can you go buy $1,000 worth of eBay gift cards and like bring them to me?"
Don't tell me.
Dude, so she says, "Hey, I can't put $1,000 on my card, but I can do $500." And the people, the people were like, "Yes, like go do that, please." And so she goes to CVS. And she says, "Hey, I would like to buy $500 worth of eBay gift cards." And I believe the cashier goes, "Ma'am, that is a scam. You are being scammed actively."
Yeah.
And she says, "Well, my boss told me to. I would like to buy."
That's exactly the scam.
Yeah, and so I think they had the manager of CVS come over and said, "Ma'am, that is almost certainly a scam. These are non-refundable. Are you sure you would like to do this?"
No way.
And so she calls her mom, and she says, "Mom, this is all related to me secondhand." She says, "Mom, should I buy the gift cards?" And her mom says, "Well, if your boss told you to, you should."
Oh my god.
Which, first of all, wrong.
No, yeah. Literally, if your boss told you to, still fuck you.
Just wait 20 minutes and then get the company card. Never buy anything on your own card.
What is that?
Like, I don't. Anyway, so she says, so she gets it. She walks into the office, and I'm just sitting at my desk, typing or whatever I'm doing.
Dragging.
Just doop, 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 hanging out, listening to podcast or whatever.
Sure.
And she comes in. She's like, "Hey, I have the gift cards," and we're all like, "What?" She's like, "I have the $500 worth of eBay gift cards." And we're like, "What are you talking?" My boss is like, "What are you talking about?" And then she's like, "Did you ask me to?" He's like, "I did not do that." And then it becomes very clear that she got
how did she react when she found out?
She cried. She was pretty sad about it.
It's gotta feel bad to get scammed. Like emotionally, you're like, I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. She got duped pretty good. that was on her. That was big egg on her face moment.
Isn't that kind of like saved though because she never gave them the codes?
Yes, so she
just got an eBay shopping spree
yes,
out of it.
So exactly. She never sent the codes in the email, which is like the next step or whatever.
Yeah, that's because otherwise how the fuck do they have the money?
Exactly. So my boss reimbursed her and bought like an espresso machine.
Oh, that's actually such a win.
It was it was still $500 we had to spend, but yeah.
Well, from the company, who cares?
Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah.
We basically she forced our hand into buying an espresso machine is what happened.
Do you drink coffee?
I do. I don't drink espresso much, and that was like we already had a coffee machine.
Okay, so to you, like, completely neutral.
Yeah, it was like if I feel like making a tiny shot of espresso and taking like 20 minutes to do it,
I could make affogato. I can make affogato in the office.
What's that?
You pour espresso over ice cream.
That sounds really good.
It's a banger dessert.
Also, I was being really with that story. I was trying to give like no qualifiers of how I feel about any of the people involved.
Interesting.
And so, but
how would that change the story? Do you hate everyone or
no? Okay, maybe okay. I don't like to do gossip on the podcast.
True.
That is the rule. But I will say that I'll just say
that's not fair. You set that up so hard. You're like, I didn't even talk about my feelings.
I know, but I wanted to say that so I could.
Okay.
Exactly. I did set it up. And the point being, that coworker fucked up in many, many other ways.
Okay.
That I like.
Is that related to why they don't work there anymore?
No, surprisingly.
They just left.
They just left. Just got a better job.
Damn.
Which is so funny.
You win some, you win some.
Dude, at some point, me and my other coworkers had a literal like list, like a spreadsheet of everything she had like some massive fuck ups. I'm gossiping now. Anyway, I'll shut up. That's pure gossip. I don't mean to. Anyway.
I heard that.
Right, I'll give you one more thing.
Okay.
It was like winter, and my boss was like, "Yeah, I turned my car on for like a minute to like heat it up, to like let it heat up." She's like, "Oh yeah, I do that for I let it sit for like 30 minutes or so," and we were like, "You let your car idle for 30 minutes before you drive it, so it heats up?"
He's in.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She's let her car idle for 30 minutes every morning,
just begging to. And you guys lived in the city, right?
She
or did she live like outside of Philly?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah. She lived in like Jersey.
There's been a thing. My parents are from Jersey. Like I grew up in Jersey, and there's been a thing where like people from like Philly will like just take the train to New Jersey to like a suburb and steal someone's car and drive back to Philly and sell it, which is like so goofy because to me that sounds like an awesome excursion. Like
that's amazing.
Like there's like a huge thing because like my company also installs like video cameras, so like we heard about it through that too. Like a couple of people were like, oh, like there's like this increase in like car robberies, like people are getting their cars stolen out of their driveway because like people just leave. Because if you like live in a town, like most of the time people just leave their shit unlocked anyways.
Yeah, definitely. So my other coworker like lives out there and he's had like stuff stolen
in Jersey.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He has to like lock his stuff up. Oh shit.
iPhone storage.
What's up, Tej?
What's up, dude?
Yeah, the fucking sorry everybody. The my iPhone hit like storage capacity because I've been saving all the podcast episodes. I've been deleting them. But they stay like in the recently deleted for 30
Benny never
days.
took out the trash.
Yeah, you have to like empty the trash can thing. So instead of like just recording the whole thing and then being like, I guess they like physically can't save further than a certain point.
What do you mean?
Like it can't just keep recording. It has to like cut it off.
Oh yeah. So the video just stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we
Here
got
we
the audio is fine, so we're just gonna do a frozen, just us smiling.
Can
and
we
laughing.
put a picture, like a WhatsApp Good Morning picture?
Oh, that'd be great. Actually,
That's what a WhatsApp Good Morning.
It'll be us. I'll deep fry it.
Exactly.
And then put like Good Morning
in cursive, red cursive.
That's perfect.
That's
actually.
awesome.
And okay, we're gonna switch over. We're pretty much at time anyway, so we're gonna switch over to the Patreon episode.
Guys, you gotta get on Benny's page. If you're not giving Benny $5 a month, I will find you and kill you.
That's right, and it's actually $4.
It's $4.
Yeah, it's a steal.
If you're not giving Benny $4 a month, you're broke. You're a loser. Go cancel a subscription and get on the Patreon.
What are you paying? What are you paying Spotify for? They're bad.
Music is overrated.
What are you paying? Unless you listen to my podcast on Spotify.
Actually, that's cool.
Which actually isn't. They don't pay me anything. They don't pay. They don't pay.
You get 1 million listens.
I think they have to have a deal with you. I mean, as far as I can tell,
Wow.
it seems like the money isn't doesn't.
Not present.
Yeah.
The money is absent.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But it doesn't look like it's monetized in any capacity. It looks like it's like a. I'd have to look into it more.
That's so annoying.
It is annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm talking to my ass. The point is, what do you need that? You don't need to get a Blue Apron or whatever the fuck. I'm like that. I'm like
Go to the fucking store. Go to the grocery store.
Dude, learn how to get an actual apron.
Buy a vegetable, you prick.
Get some steamable broccoli in a bag and subscribe to my fucking Patreon. It's a great way to support me, and I pay the guests. I don't know if you knew that.
Whoa, that's insane. I had no idea.
20% of the Patreon.
Let's go. I came here just happily as a friend.
Yep, that's what everybody says.
And I'm leaving with a fat wallet. I'm leaving with a swollen wallet.
At the end of the month, whatever the Patreon is making, I divide it up that way.
Cool.
And then, so you'll probably get about $1.
My mouth is watering.
But anyway, the more people that subscribe to the Patreon, the more money I get. That's how it works. Help me quit my job, please. All right. You got anything to plug, Tish?
Chicken Big. My improv team. I do improv with Iban Kulkarni and Lars Montanaro, my two dear friends and brothers. We have a show coming up on our July show. It's going to be July 22nd. Basically, the arc of Chicken Big. We made a bunch of money, and then we lost a bunch of money in the last show.
What? Really?
Yeah. So we had made like a couple $1,000s.
What?
And then in the last show, we had basically tried to multiply our money, right, to get 10x on our couple thousand.
Okay.
So we tried to fix this horse race, the Belmont Stakes. It's like a horse race in New York.
Is this a bit, or did you for real lose a ton of money on a horse race?
Well, we lost a lot of money on a horse race, and it was like live at our show. And so we were really trying to. We lost it all because we bet all the money we made on this horse race.
Wait, how'd you make the money?
Just by doing improv shows. Like we've been saving all our money.
You slowly saved like
we saved up so.
$1,000.
Well, we had a couple fat gigs that paid a lot. Like
and then you bet
improv festivals.
You bet
and we tried to bet all our money to 10x it.
Fucking idiot.
And then we lost. Well, we thought it was a sure bet. So basically, the last show ended. We have nothing now. And so we're gonna pick it up from there. If you guys are interested in kind of the universe we've built around our financial state, so I think maybe the next show is us trying to work at 9 to 5s.
Tish, that's amazing.
Trying to get some jobs.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I will. Okay, one last plug I'll do. On July 7th, we got the show, the Live Forever show at Life World.
Oh yeah, let's go.
That's gonna be a good one. That's the one where we tape them all. We get a new tape. Get my friends some new tapes.
Awesome.
Yeah, you don't do stand up much.
I'm trying to do more, but freaking work. The work is always in my way.
That's right.
Yeah.
If only you had some sort of side gig that had a steady, savable income that you could rely on.
And you know what my side gig is not, Benny? It's fixing horse races.
Dude, what you've tried? Wait, what do you mean you tried to fix it?
No, that part's
Okay. like, did you call a guy and like?
We had a whole setup. Where we were telling the audience that we fixed the race.
Would it have been 10x? Like, would it have been?
No.
How much would it have been?
Well, it was vague. It was vague.
Like what were the odds?
We don't really know. We don't really know. It's kind of a bit.
Oh, it's kind of a bit.
It's for the lore.
Tash, I thought you lost a lot of money.
It's for the lore.
Oh.
It's the lore. The lore is very important, Betty.
Tej, I was fully bought into the fact that you spent a bunch of money on a horse race. Listen, I wouldn't have put it past you.
What if we actually were like $10,000 gone, evaporated? But if the horse we had bet on won, our improv team now has $1 million. It was a parlay. It was uncut gem style betting.
The biggest surprise to me was I was like, what are these fat gigs you've been getting with improv?
My God.
I thought maybe you had a chance to go teach at a college.
We did. We did a college and they
you-
paid us a lot. Yeah. Yeah. But
So-
we actually just saved the money and didn't bet it on horses.
Anyway, go to the Patreon if you want to. Well, I don't know. What are we going to talk about on the Patreon? What do you think?
On the Patreon, we're gonna talk about you guys thought that what you just heard was filthy. On the Patreon, we're gonna tell you how to get rich quickly.
That's right. How to get rich quick on the Patreon.
If you listen to the Patreon episode, you'll make that money back in seconds.
That's correct. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See ya.